Hello and happy Wednesday. It is wonderful to have you with me. Welcome to today's live level up conversation. Whether you're tuning in live or catching me on replay, thank you so much for making the time. Happy Wednesday. We're going to dive right in.
Welcome to Level Up with Winnie Sun. Market update. Speed round. Award-winning financial pro. And now, get ready. I present to you Level Up with Winnie Sun.
Hello, friends. Well, I already see Vicky joining us on Facebook Live. I see a lot of friends on all the different social media platforms. Thank you so much for being here. For those of you brand new to the show, hello, I'm Winnie Sun, your host, as I mentioned, an award-winning financial pro. I'm a Forbes contributor and a CNBC council member. Also, I have my own podcast, also the LinkedIn Podcast Network. It's just such an honor to be here with you today. We are absolutely streaming here live. We're coming on about half a dozen different social media platforms. So definitely don't be shy. Jump in, say hello. Let me know how your week's been going so far. If you're looking forward to the weekend and just your overall mood, I want to know where your neighborhood you're at. Are you like full on in fall season? All that good stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and see how the market's doing currently. The Dow's in the positive. We like that, up 236 points. NASDAQ in the negative, but just a smidge down, about 3, 4, 2 points. It's moving around. And the S&P 500 is currently in the positive, over 11 points as well. We'll certainly check back in the markets again before we close the show here. But let's talk about the Dow. The Dow's gaining some seed today. As you know, we are all ears are and all eyes. We're waiting to hear what the Federal Reserve is going to say about the interest rate decision. Of course, S&P is in the slight positive as well. We are really wanting to see if the Fed, if they're going to tell us some economic projections, and of course, the Fed Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell is going to keep interest rates where they are currently, which is what everybody's sort of predicting. But we'll see if that actually happens. You don't know until you know, right? And of course, there's a hope of more of managing inflation, because inflation continues to be an issue without harming the economy. Of course, we don't want things to mess up the momentum of the stock market. And we certainly don't want to hurt the momentum of the economy as well. Recently, we've been seeing some positivity that's been boosted by various sectors, including like in the industrial sector. So we're hoping they can manage inflation, but keep people working and keeping the stock market roaring forward. That's what we want to hear. The question is whether or not that can be done. As you know, the central bank's rate hike in July was really sort of a key point of interest for many investors, and we're seeing that trickle into the numbers again today. All right, so we're going to go and segue over to some of the stories and headlines that haven't been big this week that I think you're going to find interesting. I certainly thought them interesting. And one of the big ones, especially for those of you joining me on Twitter, this is a big one. The question is whether or not this will be that final push that makes you decide that you're going to leave Twitter, or if you're going to stay and you hold on for dear life and see how this story unfolds. Because get this, there's been an announcement that now Twitter will no longer be free. Hello. Okay. You may have put up with many changes, just as I have, at Twitter, namely one that's now being called X. I guess if you're like a hipster, you're calling it X now. You're no longer calling it Twitter, because Twitter no longer exists, right? Twitter and the Twitter bird have kind of gone away. Roger, I see you on YouTube Live. I'm really curious to see how you feel. Roger Wakefield, by the way, if you don't follow him on YouTube, you're missing out on some great content. Roger Wakefield, want to see what you think about this. And I see Joshua, CrossX Fighter, also joining us on YouTube Live. Let me know what you think about this. All right. So Elon Musk's plans for the social media platform X. Here's the deal. You're going to have to pay money, either a monthly fee requirement, or you can pay like on an annual basis. But Elon announced this on a live stream event on X with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, that all users on his social media platform X, previously known as Twitter, are going to be required to put up some dough. You're going to have to pay some money to use the platform. Well, I don't know how you feel about that, but I can tell you for a fact, given that we're dealing with inflation issues and the global economy continues to be concerned about many aspects of financial concerns and like inflation and of course, recession concerns, people don't want to be parted with their money right now. I think the timing is off. Anyhow, they're saying because of the decline in ad revenue, Elon revealed this earlier, of course, that Twitter's US ad revenue had declined by 60%. Now, we can all agree that could possibly be because of leadership change, possibly, or other issues as well that we continue to follow on this story. But Elon's also saying, there needs to be a combating of bots. And he's saying, well, if I make people pay, then we'll know who's real and who's not real. So this is sort of like paying way of filtering away bots. Now that part I think makes sense, right? Because if you're a bot, or let's say you run thousands of bots, you may not want to pay what, $8, $9, $10 a month, getting close to like your Netflix bill. You might not want to pay that amount. And so perhaps you'll decide you'll go bot on a different platform. But yeah, so they're saying that they're gonna give you multiple options, just like you're seeing on a lot of streaming networks. So there's gonna be a lower tier pricing option, making it more accessible for users. But currently, the X Premium subscription costs about $8 a month. So I want to know what you think. I mean, I can go on and on about this story. There's a lot of things are still unfolding, a lot of things that we haven't seen yet. But how do you feel about this? Are you ready to go ahead and open up your wallet? Or maybe you already do, pay that $8, approximately $8 a month. I do. I currently do because it allows me to share longer form content, which is important for our community. But I don't know. I don't know that it's for everybody. Like, for example, if I didn't run a business and this wasn't part of my business plan, I don't know that I would want to pay. And I didn't want to know that I would feel like I needed to, because there's certainly a lot of other social media platforms. And you could say that there's only one Twitter/X, right? This is a very, very robust community. I would not argue against that. I love Twitter slash X. This is probably my most active social media platform. But I think that there's a time and place. And I've been noticing I have some really, really amazing friends that I have developed through Twitter, mainly through Twitter, not so much at X, right? Really through Twitter, that I have seen have left and exited the platform. Well, if my friends are leaving the platform, well, I want to go where my friends are. And that's just my feeling. So I'd like to see how you feel about that. The final push would make me leave. That's what Joshua is saying. Joshua is currently joining us. CrossX Fighter is joining us on YouTube Live. And Roger Wakefield, by the way, Roger Wakefield, a powerhouse on YouTube and many social media platforms, is saying, I don't see paying for social media. I agree with you, Roger. I mean, not everybody can pay. Not everybody uses social media for business. Some people use it as an outlet to share things that are going on with their lives. We certainly see that with the rise of Instagram. We're seeing. I'm really interested to see how Threads will unfold and it will continue to give us more options. And we can completely understand the need for these social media platforms to monetize and become profitable entities, right? To be able to justify running these communities. But charging all members, I'm not sure that X can yet justify that ask. And the reason that is because I giving my survey of a lot of people in my community and just people in general and brands and whatnot, I think many people are still on a wait and see in terms of X. I think the vast majority would say that they don't feel that it's substantially better than where Twitter was before the acquisition. How do you feel about that? I want to know. I really want to know how you feel about that. Of course, share that in comments. We're seeing some of them come in already, but but give this some thought, and maybe it comes to you in next, later in the day or tomorrow. Share your comments and tag me at Winnie Sun. So I want to see how you feel about this, because I will say this. I'm still here because a lot of my community is here. We've got a great tweet chat, by the way, that's coming right after this show. And we come in and we're going to talk about all things. But I want to tell you, today's tweet chat is actually sort of aligned to this topic. We're going to be talking about the online divide, about how people of differing opinions, how they're able to coexist, and what is the way of the future of social media, and how can we make it so that the information that we're consuming and sharing on social media continue to be relevant, but also accurate, honest, and relatable, and that it's a harmonious community. What can we do? We want to hear from you. So if you have an opinion on this, and I know many of you do, and I'm hoping you do, join us. That's going to be 11 a.m. Pacific or 2 p.m. Eastern. It's literally half an hour from where we are now if you're joining me live. On Twitter, you just jump in, you follow hashtag Winnie Sun. We're going to share about 14 questions. You can answer the questions, you can engage with the community. You just want to tag your tweet at the end with at Winnie's hashtag Winnie Sun, and that way everybody can join in the conversation. So I'd love to see you there. All right. But we are segueing over because there is still more Elon news to talk about. There's more different news as well, but we got one more Elon story. And this is, speaking of Elon Musk, would you be interested in signing up to have a chip put in your brain? Yes, not a potato chip, a computer chip in your brain. How do you feel about that? Well, Elon Musk's company, his other company, Neurolink, is currently recruiting people. So they're recruiting patients for their first in-human clinical trial. They're calling this the Prime study, not Amazon Prime, Neuralink Prime study. So they're saying that they have just received approval from an independent institutional review board and a hospital site to proceed with this trial that they've been looking forward to. Now, if you're interested in this, you're able to participate in the trial if you're chosen. You will undergo invasive, not non invasive, invasive brain surgery, which will allow this to be implanted, a device or chip to be implanted in your brain. Now, this is designed to help individuals who have severe paralysis. This is going to help them hopefully be able to control their external technologies using neural signals. So the technology is very exciting. But of course, there's going to be risk involved. But if this is something that you've been waiting for, right? Maybe this you can see this as really improving your quality of life. Do know that they are currently doing this. Initial goal of Neuralink's brain computer interface, what they call BCI, is to enable for people to be able to control a computer cursor or keyboard just using their thoughts, not even having to use hands, right? So this is for someone who no longer has access to be able to do this. This is big. So Neuralink's progress is really very, very significant. And it's sort of that step towards emerging brain computer interface technology and industry. But currently BCI company has received no BCI company has received final FDA approval. This is as of this month, but maybe this is that first step. And sometimes you have to take risks, right? We've seen that obviously with Tesla and like putting batteries in cars. And you got to give credit where credit is due. You got to give it up to Elon and his company for taking that step and challenging and just saying, we've got to find a way to fix this. And as someone who had a loved one, for my dad for years, who really after brain damage, lost the ability to use his limbs to their typical performance level and speaking and everything. I do think this is a technology that we want to embrace. But whether or not this is something for you or you're comfortable with is something that only you can answer and only you can do research on. But I think it's exciting to see that the technology could exist where we can help many, many people across the globe with that. All right. So, Elon, I hope that one works for you. I really do. I'm excited. I'm hoping that does. But I'm going to give that. But yeah, Vicky is saying on Facebook Live, I see, I don't want to be linked up to the big computer. And, it's made another having microchip in your hand. So yeah, I'd love to see what you think about that if you have an opinion on that story. But that's one of the stories that's kind of like been going on financial news as well. Now, speaking of another thing, I want to segue now over to the area of entertainment and travel because this is also big news. You've probably seen like through the early years of the pandemic, because we're still in the pandemic. Earlier in the pandemic, many people sort of ceased traveling. There were a lot of changes in the area of hospitality, right? But a lot of that's come back. A lot of people are traveling again, even more so than ever. And one of the areas that Disney is paying attention to, sort of 6 points, they're like saying, well, Disney is saying they plan to spend about $60 billion on theme parks and their cruise lines. And if you've ever been to their theme parks, like people call it the happiest place on earth. It's a pretty happy, fun place, right? And if you've been on a Disney cruise, I'm just gonna say, as someone who has, because I have kids, it is like it's like literally like one of the best ways to vacation as a family. You haven't traveled until you've been on a Disney cruise. If you have kids, it's absolutely incredible. But yeah, so Disney is set to generate a whopping $10 billion in profit this year, which is a significant increase from the $2.2 billion just a decade ago, despite challenges, of course, because of the pandemic. However, now they're saying, well, they plan to invest that $60 billion over the next decade to expand its domestic and international theme park business, right? And they want to continue building out the Disney Cruise Line. Now, this investment is twice what Disney spent on parks and cruise lines in the past decade. So they're like stepping on the gas. They believe in this business that we as humans love their way of entertainment and travel, and they really see growth. So of course, they see that there's plenty of growth opportunities in their businesses, even though here in California, that Disneyland is considered sort of near the expansion limits. We just don't have that much land currently in the Anaheim area. But we have land in other parts of California. And then, of course, they're having some legal disputes with Florida's governor, which really puts Disney World's future kind of in limbo here. Don't know exactly what that's going to look like, but there's many other places. So just in the last decade, Disney has expanded in parks such as in China and Shanghai, the Disney resort there. And of course, they're increasing their cruise line capacity with new boats and new entertainment. It's pretty, I don't even think we should call it boats because that's like kind of the understatement of the century. They're cruise line, they're cruise ships. Like they're literally resorts on the water. They're incredible. But they're also, of course, adding more rides with really cool intellectual properties such as Guardians of the Galaxy and Star Wars and all that cool stuff. So, yeah. So Disney's spending a lot of money. And so we'll see how that goes. But it'll be interesting to see. And I'm actually kind of excited about that because I do feel like, with work being so much and life being so much, we need that factor of entertainment. And Disney, let's be honest, Disney's expensive, but like they give you really efficient ways to travel and spend a day with your loved ones. So that's kind of cool. Okay. And then speaking of travel, I want to go to another story that's also trending. And actually, I found this one trending on LinkedIn Live. And this is, if you have plans to fly in the near future, I know like they were doing some Maui, Hawaii deals to get people to visit Maui once again. And there's been some Europe flight deals as well. You might be interested in knowing what the most satisfying airports are at. That's right. That's right, Vicky. Joshua, I said the most satisfying airport because, in fact, a JD Power study report has shown that passenger satisfaction at North American airports in the United States has improved over the past year. That's good news. The improvement was attributed to different factors such as stability and, of course, less crowds, right? Better food options, a better like overall shopping experience, and just feeling like things were open and bright and clean and safe. So overall customer satisfaction within the US airports here increased by 3 points on their score of 780. It's almost like credit score, but it's not. It's like their satisfaction rating. 780, which is on 1,000 point scale, by the way. So 3 points more, we'll take it. They're excited about that. Some of the key factors, no surprise here, influencing satisfaction, including terminal facilities, food and beverage services, and baggage claim. Baggage claim is a big one. I'm glad that was included in the survey. So I want to know whether or not you're surprised by this information. Now, this isn't just the United States, it's all North America. Okay. So the least satisfying mega airports, what do you think they are? I'm going to give you a moment to jump in and give me your comments. I want to hear, what do you think are the least satisfying mega airports in North America? Now, I actually know what these are, but I'm going to tell you, I would have voted for the Atlanta airport. And I'll tell you why. The Atlanta airport is also the one in Georgia. It's actually the biggest airport in the United States, the busiest airport in the United States. Is it the biggest? I don't know if it's the biggest, but they're certainly the busiest airport. And I find it very, very overwhelming because there's so many people. And also, if you need to take a ride share, like an Uber or a Lyft, they make you walk like so far for this, and I just feel like it's a really, they could do better by perhaps turning one airport into two airports. It's just too big. So that's what would have been my vote, but that actually wasn't it. Vicky is saying JFK. All right, let me tell you what they are. The least satisfying mega airports include Newark Liberty Airport in New Jersey, the Toronto Airport. I'm surprised by that, but I haven't flown to Toronto in quite some time. Toronto Pearson International Airport, the Boston Logan International Airport. I'm actually surprised by that too because I didn't think the Boston airport was so bad. But the Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport, the Fort Lauderdale, I should say, airport, Hollywood Airport in Florida, and the Seattle Tacoma International Airport. I'm surprised I had that one as well because I would think that wasn't so bad as well. But yeah, those were the least satisfying in North America. But here's the list that you really want to know, which is the most satisfying mega airports. And maybe if you're like one of my travel friends, you actually might like go and visit these just because you want to see what makes them so satisfying. One of them is the Detroit Metropolitan Wayne County Airport, the Minneapolis St. Paul International. Now I want to visit Minneapolis St. Paul International Airport because I actually have a reason to do that next year. And the Harry Reid International Airport in Las Vegas, as well, which I'm kind of surprised because I always thought that Las Vegas airports were kind of dingy. So I haven't flown in a long time. So if you've been there, you probably would tell me why this is so much better an airport. I mean, I think they have slot machines in them, right? And then the Dallas Fort Worth International Airport. So surprised by this. So surprised. Because the Dallas Fort Worth Airport, again, is a mega huge airport. And oftentimes you have to take shuttles, internal shuttles, just to get from one area, one terminal to the other. But like, wow. I'm going to have to visit this again just to see. And the Miami International Airport, which I have flown, and I do like the Miami International Airport. Yeah. But in the large category, Tampa International Airport ranked first, while in the medium airport category, the Indianapolis International Airport took the top spot. And New York's LaGuardia Airport saw a significant increase in satisfaction due to their redevelopment project, which my creative director Curtis and I have been to that airport. That is a great airport. It's a little bit smaller than JFK, and I like it's a little bit easier to get in and out. So that's great. So congratulations to their airports. Passenger satisfaction is absolutely key. We hope to see more of that improve, and I'm hoping that some of the ones in California can step up their game and be on the more satisfying list as well. Okay. All right. So last things last, before I clip up here, is I just want to give a quick reminder that yes, in about 15 minutes, jump on Twitter/X while it's still currently free and join us on our tweet chat. You'll want to just go in the search bar and search for hashtag Winnie Sun. We're going to have a conversation about social media, about the divide of social media, about the differing opinions, about bots, about trolls, about negativity and positivity, and what we would like to see as our wish list and what we think could be some options to improve things. We made 14 questions. We're in people all over the globe joining us. We would love to get your opinion on that. So I want to personally invite you to join me there. You can come in, talk to me. I'll be talking back to you. We have lots of fun. We share gifts and gifs and all things in between and different comments and statistics. And I think if anything, you'll find it to be kind of eye-opening. And tomorrow we're actually tomorrow's show I'm gonna actually talk about AI. And there's a lot of news coming from artificial intelligence. And so I'm gonna give you an update on some big trending news in that front too. So you definitely want to stay close and join me again tomorrow. Let's see how the market's doing. Currently, the Dow's up still 177 points, so we'll take it. The Nasdaq, unfortunately, down more now, down 27 points, and the S&P 500 has given some up as well. It's currently up 4 right now, 4 to 5 right now. So not a lot, but the market's not closed yet. A few more hours to go, and of course, we want to see what Fed Chairman Jerome Powell says. I'll update you on all that tomorrow. So don't worry if you're not able to tune in on that, right? So I'll tell you tomorrow. But with that, I want to say a huge, heartfelt thank you to all of you for tuning in and being part of Level Up Live today. If you found value in today's video, don't forget to hit that like button and hit subscribe. And of course, share it with someone that you care about. If you share it on social, make sure to tag me at Winnie Sun, just like Joshua did. So thank you so much, Joshua. Truly grateful that you shared the show so widely last week. I saw that and I really appreciated it. And of course, you can find full episodes of Level Up with Winnie Sun on the absolutely marvelous, beautiful NASDAQ, Amazon Fire, Samsung, LG, Roku, and many other platforms. And check out Yes Factor with Winnie Sun on Apple Podcasts and the LinkedIn Podcast Network. With that, thank you so much, my friends. I can't wait to see you again tomorrow. Take care. Have a beautiful Wednesday. And of course, 14 minutes. Where are you going to be? You're going to be on Twitter/X with me on TweetChat. I'm hoping. I hope to see you there. Take care. Be well. And talk to you very soon. Bye-bye now.